Live it.
The time is nigh. Open up your eyes to see the signs of the times. Got to be wise to all of their lives. Look to the skies from where my help comes. Wake up, got to wake up from the slumber. Don't let them pull you under. Rise up off the water. Never let them wrestle you into the mind.
Okay, let me check this here. Greetings, mic check. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Rosera Menin. Y'all already know, man. One perfect balance. Greetings and welcome to, wait, hold up. How the mic sound, man? Greetings and welcome to Politically Incorrect. We get it correct, and if we're not correct, feel free to correct us. This is the late edition. Tonight being Wednesday, the 4th of September. It's almost like you can't believe it already. This is September. Imagine already. School will be here just now. You hear all the children back on the road. Traffic will be crazy. And yes, life goes on. So tonight, the question is, well, not really a question, but more of a rhetorical statement. Is a rose by any other name still a rose? The question is a rose by any other name still a rose? Apparently, there's been some miscommunication in my last program when we talked about some things that's currently going on. And one of those things was some definitions on, feminist, gender, thorn and whatnot. Is like, oh man, it's so crazy how what the irony is profound. I think that's the best way to put it. But anyhow, tell a friend we up and running. Feel free. We not correct, just correct us. But the irony is profound. Is a rose by any other name still a rose? Is the question tonight. Is as if suddenly, you can't say certain things. And apparently, if you don't say certain things, well, that somehow disqualifies you, which is crazy. But it's good. It's good because what it does is we're going to get into some definitions. We're going to see clearly what is what and, what is what and basically who is who. And I'm telling you, man, if you was mad before, you're going to be irate at the end of this one. I'm telling you. So buckle up, family. You see, it's a late edition. This is the smuggler edition. We're going to be smuggling this right across the border. Go tell a friend to tell a friend, family. That's what's up. But let me say this out early. I got some videos to share rather. It might be some uncomfortable stuff. Plus, we're going to discuss this issue about, in fact, let's go and jump right into it. I saw an article recently talking about, in fact, I'm just going to jump right into this because this is crazy. Talking about money for the roads development in the Scotland district area, which I thought was a bit strange. Why am I saying that? Well, I won't jump into it. I'll just cruise into it. So let me just go here first of all and give credit where credit is due. I'm actually online, the e-paper, the edition of the Barbados Today. You're going to jump into this real quick. Let me see if I can pull this off. How you pull this off? Let's do it this way. I'll just zoom in on this a bit here. Let me just go ahead and, there you go. If I zoom in on this. Right here, in fact, let me see if I can zoom a little more. There you go. So we have the road rehab. Thumbs up for Scotland District major road fixes. This is crazy. Like, hold on. First thing first, before I even get into that, let me pay homage. Let me do my due diligence. First thing first. Again, family, let me just line this up properly here so you can see what's going on. All right? Oh, man. Let me just first thing do a little housekeeping. Before we jump into that, let me do a little housekeeping. Monica, I see you out early. Good night to everyone. Blessings to you as well. Monica, if I didn't know any better, right? If I didn't know any better, but the thing is, I know better. I told someone the other day, the hardest thing is not the hardest thing. Half the battle is to know. The hardest thing is not to know. Half the battle is to know. Once you know, then you know you got half already completed. It's just the other half you got to work on now. Brother, say you late this time. I ain't late at all, man. I am not late at all. I'm always on time. Always on time, man. Always on time. King Alfred, what's going on, brother? Greetings to you too, man. Locked on from Brooklyn in the building. How was Labor Day yesterday? Well, not yesterday. That'd have been Monday. So we didn't talk yesterday. But how was Labor Day? I know you're still recovering. Probably was out there checking those Beijing Yankees come out to join the party. I can't remember how the song goes. Something like that. Aaron, I see you, bro. Sounds good. Greetings. Empress, listen. Go tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Be sure. I see you, my brother. Viewers and others, good night to you too. Jackie, greetings, family. Greetings to you as well. Peace. I nearly missed it. Nah, you ain't miss it late tonight. Yeah, man. You know, we ain't really late. You know, we was being late. It was scheduled to come on a little later than usual, but it's a little later than what I would have initially intended. I had an amazing evening. Amazing. Went to pay homage to the ancestors at the the water's edge. The water's edge. Went to pay homage to the ancestors. You know, the new moon is up for those who pay attention. The new moon, this moon, September new moon. Again, it's renewal. It's about renewal. New beginnings, letting go, embracing. And we mustn't forget those things in the middle of all the chaos. Find order. And like you said, find your peace. Find your peace, man. So we went to the water's edge. Yes, I did say we. And pay homage to the ancestors. I want to give a shout out, special salute, to our very own, one of our very own, and I don't know if I should call the name, but he transitioned and his service was today. And, the universe is such where they give and they take to another realm. So it's all energy manifesting in different forms. Yeah, and energy manifesting in different forms. So to my brother, we salute you. You continue to travel in the realm where no name is necessary, just a frequency and your energy. Maria, I see you too. Greetings to you too. Greetings. Greetings all day, every day. A rose is a rose. They only come in different colors. I see you. Shout to Aunt Rose too, man. Speaking of ancestors, man. For real. Miss Oliver, see you. Good night to you. Greetings, family. Peace. Greetings to you too. Love. Richard, we see you. Greetings and mighty beginnings. Yes, mighty beings. I see you. This is the month for new beginnings, man. The full moon, the new moon is up. It's new beginning time. It's time to renew self. So as a mighty being, it's time to look in the mirror and, always redefine yourself. Never let people define you, or never be defined by how people perceive you. Because that's just that. That's their perception. And their perception is uniquely theirs, because that is just uniquely theirs. For whatever reason it is. But a rose is a rose regardless. Peace and blessings to you too. The Black survivors across 360. It's a new day, a new vibe. Tyrone, how you know so good? Better pay homage today, man. Had to go. In fact, it wasn't a planned something. It wasn't planned, but it has happened that way before. And yeah, that's how it be. The best occasions when the ancestors call you to them to come a reason, and they enlighten you and they show you. So, you put your trust in the universe, what you may call God, your ancestors, however you define it, Allah, Buddha, Krishna. Let them guide you along the journey of life, man. Smiling butterfly, we see you. What's up, my peoples? We're going to get into some discussion tonight. Apparently, Apparently, yo, this thing is becoming so apparent. It's like, yo, like you just got to sit back and watch it because it's just unfolding. It literally just unfolding, man. So we going to iron out some of the creases. Cause you know when you got something fold up for a long time, you unfold it, it's got some creases, right? But we gonna iron out the creases tonight. Well, a few, not all, just a few, just a few. Not late, behind time. Nah, listen, just for the record, right? We not even using that word behind. We don't even make that kind of sport. I don't know what they talking about. But nah, we not late and we definitely not behind time. For real, we 10 step ahead of time. 10 step ahead, man. So we in the future, we not in the past. We early, we ain't late. Labor Day was Labor Day with police. Okay, the policy enforcers. Facts. Oh, wow, Sean. Sean said death is a part of life. The irony, man. Like, wow. You know, we have been conditioned as a people through fear, propaganda, and media to view this word, what they call death, as the end. So therefore, people fear it. And in reality, life, which is limited, people don't fear. Crazy. Life as we know it in this realm has its border. We bypass one border when we come into it, and we transition into one border when we transition in, then we transition out. But we never stop to wonder where we came from or where we going. We just make the assumption based on, like I said, propaganda and mayhem that this is it. And speaking of life and speaking of death, I understand someone got unalived in the words you got to use on these platforms. You got to be mindful what you're saying, lest, you get all kind of sanctions and whatnot. Brother said, after death, there will be a resurrection. I tell people all the time, a lot of this Christian ideology that we were fed has its origin elsewhere. And although I understand our Christian brothers and sisters, I always encourage them to study to show yourself approved according to the word of God. The word like resurrection, for example, when we study the meaning of that word, because we are taught it as children and we grow up hearing it and we tend to accept things based on what we hear. But the minute you go looking into truth, because anybody could say anything. In fact, now with the advent of social media, it seems that anybody literally could say anything. But in reality, go look some things up for yourself. That's the best option. You will see very, very plainly that not everything is what it seems. I going to pull this up. I see you, Aaron. So here's the deal, family. Let me just jump right in this, like I was saying. So we start off by talking about this rehab thing, road rehab. And, the reason why I answer the question, is a rose by any other name still a rose? Because my grandmother always said, a rose by any other name is still a rose. Her name was, well, they call her Aunt Rose. They call her Aunt Rose. So she used to play with it, I'm a rose. She always, that was her thing. She was a rose, and in fact, if you knew her, she indeed was a rose. She is that beautiful flower. But Aunt Rose has some thorns if you knew her as well. You can play around Aunt Rose. That's one thing for sure that I knew for a fact you can do. You can play around Granny at all. At all, at all, at all. Greetings, one and all. Yes, all ones for sure. Hail up, King Emmanuel. Guidance. Give thanks, family. Lioness, we see you. The brother going into Latin. Now, what about the rapturus? The Latin for the biblical phrase caught up. Man, I can tell you right now, bro, a lot of folks getting caught up with what's going on and not seeing through the fog. But then again, not everyone can see through fog. And speaking of fog, look at what we got here. So we got this situation where the thumbnail says it all, thumbs up for Scotland District major road fixes. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, not bringing it up, I'm bringing it back up because this was done a few years ago. In fact, hold on. Let me bring you up to speed. Remember. Yeah, let me bring you up to speed. So if y'all could remember a few years ago, this came up. We had this situation where roads rehabilitation in the Scotland District in the works. This is what was said. Now, I myself went up that area and saw a lot of stuff going on. Don't forget there was construction going on. They carved the road through somebody's residence. Didn't even ask her permission. They had some Chinese up there living in some, well, let me not say that. I saw some Chinese up there dwelling in a house, occupying a house, which I thought was closed down or was just vacant, but they were there. I guess that was their base of operation. And, a lot of things was going on. A number of things was going on. And so, well, let me play a video.
Good morning, everyone. Let me thank everyone for coming. Ambassador, let me thank you for also being here at such short notice. Deputy Prime Minister, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Public Works, Mark Cummings, members of Foreign Affairs. This is an important morning for us in Barbados. Over the course of the last few months, you would have heard us speak as a government about the fact that we're in the process of negotiating and settling loan agreement with the Chinese government, with the Exim Bank of China, to be more precise.
Okay, so let me just put this out the way. So this is a loan from China, the Exim Bank, to be more precise. Now, a lot of folks, when I first brought this up, thought it was just an African bank, just using the terms and the letters, but you just heard it directly from Ms. Motley. There's a relationship between the two, but I don't want to get into that part tonight. I want to focus on the fact that this loan from China to the Exim Bank is for roads. Well, let me let her tell the rest. Hold on.
For 230 million Barbados dollars, or
right, 230 million Barbados dollars,
115 million US dollars. The agreement that we will sign eventually will, in fact, with Exim Bank, be at the interest rate of 2%, which is highly concessional, as you would appreciate, because if we went to market, we would be paying a lot more for the money that we're borrowing. In order to facilitate that, the government of China has kindly agreed through this framework agreement that we will sign in a few minutes to be able to allow us to pay at an interest rate of 2% over 20 years, while they subsidize the difference between that 2% and the market rate that the Exim Bank would normally settle, which would be somewhere between 4.5% to 5% over the course of the loan. Our calculations will tell you that when you look at that amount over the period of the 20 years, you're effectively looking at 85 million Barbados dollars in subsidy, or the equivalent of 42.5 million US dollars. And therefore we want, on behalf of the people of Barbados and the government of Barbados, to thank the people and government of the People's Republic of China for so graciously agreeing to provide that subsidy, while allowing us then to service the 2% interest on the 115 million US, which is by far the smaller amount when you look at the market rates.
All right, so I let me go back here a bit so y'all can get the scope of what's happening in this. So like I said, in fact, let me put this link up around. Notice they were wearing masks, right? So you know this is in the height and the middle of COVID, so that we clear on this. This isn't, this is 2022. In fact, this is if I'm not mistaken, February. If I'm not mistaken, this was in February. Somebody could double check that for me. and February of 2022, if my mind served me correctly. But yeah, this is yeah, here you go. Well, February the 18th, 2022. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So it was interesting because this is 2024, almost 2025, and this was signed this particular day. The video goes on to show that the agreement. Now, I'm not sure why it took them this long when they said thumbs up in the article that I would have just shared. In fact, let me go ahead and share this link first before I go back to that one. I think that one speaks volumes for a reason. I think we need to look at this also in part. Let me go ahead and share this link here in the comments first. Hang on. Let me put that one out there. For those who are paying attention, just so when they said now in this article that there's a thumbs up for road fixes, I'm wondering, you know, they call Williams employees working on the drainage system and so on. I'm beginning to wonder because I was on the impression that China was supposed to be working on this project. Like I said, I had seen them myself in the area doing work on the road in that area. So, but then I realized they had kind of, I don't want to say they down tools, but I noticed they were there 1 minute and then they weren't. So I'm not sure exactly what happened, what's going on. If anybody's familiar with this project in that area, in fact, hang on a second. I didn't get to do it yet. Let me put that. The number is on the screen. Feel free to call, let us know. We on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Y'all already know. Most often than not 8 p.m. Otherwise, not too far behind. Not too far later that night or forward in the time. We can't use the word behind. Apparently, that is one of those things that can be misconstrued. Speaking of misconstrued, we can get into some definitions in a minute. But 8 or 9-ish, 8:30-ish, whenever it's convenient, is what I'm going to tell you straight up. Having said that, though, family, tell a friend to tell a friend. But the number on the screen, if anybody's familiar with this particular scenario, because it's being praised as the project funded by the $230 million loan from the Exim Bank of China in 2022 aims to address severe infrastructure issues. The road repairs in the rugged and land slippage prone Scotland district began in St Andrew with the repaving of the Ermin, I think, Bourne Highway. I'm not sure where that's at. The former East Coast Road from Belplain to Cattle Wash. Okay, so like I said, I again, there were signs of work being done up there with the Chinese. I don't know how related this is or what the connection is, but this is stuff that was going on a way back. So I'm kind of surprised when they're now saying thumbs up for the Scotland District major road fixes. To my understanding, this was a done deal since 2022. So I don't know if the money was sitting in the bank all that time collecting interest. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know if the money was even here or the money didn't arrive, but I know the Chinese did arrive in that area. So I just kind of confused a bit, asking questions. Can somebody shed some light on this who might be more familiar with it? You know, because, I mean, a rose is still a rose, yes, but we ain't clear. We're not clear at all. So, greetings. Greetings to you too, Ms. Ward. Just a quick share. I see NCC is now spraying the roadsides. Really? I asked the sister what was in it. She said she didn't know, but she could call the word gramoxone. That's what she said. And she was only spraying the edge of the road and holding the nozzle low. Well, I guess, again, anybody could shed some light on this, please inform us. Inquiring minds would like to know exactly what exactly is going on. Greetings to you too, family. Good evening. Greetings to you too. No, we see you. No, I'll say you were late. Nah, I wasn't late. I was playing homage to the ancestors, man. And that was necessary. We had to. Clearly. But they didn't say if the interest rate of that loan is fixed or not. A good point, Sean. Maybe they did later on in the footage. Take it, when you get a chance, take a look and see. Sellout politicians, Mia PM. When is Barbadans, Bajans going to wake up and start to see what the heck is going on in Barbados? I tell people running a household is challenging. Running a business has its challenges as well. Running a country, I can't begin to imagine what it might look like. But that's not necessarily to say Mia Motley is or isn't doing a good or not doing a good job. I'm simply saying politics is an arena where such it is. And the decisions are got to be made that they may not be agreed with everyone. You're going to please some, you're going to not, and some going to just not be happy. I think one of the better ways to dealing with your community, your people, your island, your country, is to do what's best for everybody. But then can you do that? I'm sure you might make one body happy. I don't love this close relationship with China. I telling you, I think history has shown us what close relationships with China gets you. Know what I said? If you're not paying attention to the Chinese objective. Here we are. The Chinese were working on White Hill. I'm not sure who's working in St. Simons, Coggin Hill, or Carl Williams. I don't know. I'm not sure the area as well. Yes, for sure. The East Coast Road was botched by some contractor. They did not repave it with that mill and whatever they were talking about doing. Well, here's a question for you. That material that they bought to pave the road recently, the material that they were using, where did they get that from? That new material they were using for the road. Where exactly? What's the source of that? Just remember, in case you didn't know, China, Canada, America, they give projects to countries like Barbados as it creates employment for their people. All your country gets is a project that you can't even budget or for maintenance. Always check that the contractors are from the above countries, as a majority of the money returns home. That's why I answer with the material. When they buy all this material, where they buy this material from? Says Ras, a good friend who owns a restaurant in Scotland District, has one of the best food view restaurants in that area. I didn't like those Chinese driving around in the area with government. I'm telling you, man, I don't know China on a world tour. Let me add this, is right alongside the road near a dairy. Wow, provides a lot of milk. Cows feed and eat grass anywhere, as do goats, geese, and other animals. It's a noted, well, Remoxone is a serious thing. So I don't know if that's a wise thing to be spraying their cattle and that kind of stuff, but all right. Let me say this. I think personally that there's some things we need to look into. And like I always say, been saying, we got to pay attention to what's going on, because you can't piss on somebody's leg and call it rain and don't expect them not to smell it. You got to be aware, family. Let me play this video real quick. Or should I do the definition first? I think I should do the definition first, because this is what led to a whole lot of phone calls. I don't see why. I really don't see why. Folks think I misunderstood and misrepresented a statement that was made by the sister last week on the program, based on the press conference, Sister Du John. And the question was feminists, because I said the thing is, I didn't make any statements. I just asked questions as to what was meant by those terms, because I didn't want to perceive it based on my understanding of it or what I am aware of. But apparently not. So I'm gonna clear that up in a minute. Let me play this first. I think one of the things we first got to recognize is, y'all remember a while back, I had answered a question, and we had this lady who had just gotten a position in America as a judge, Miss Jackson, and she was asked a few questions back then. Now, why am I going back? I'm going back to come forward. I think it's important when we talk about I am a woman. Look, this is 2024, family. Let's be very straightforward. This is 2024. When you say things now, it ain't the same as it was before. Let me let it play.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mhm.
No,
Yeah,
I can't.
you can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the
biologist.
meaning of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address disputes. If there's a dispute about a definition, people make arguments, and I look at the
All right.
law and I decide. So I'm not.
The fact that you can't give me a straight answer about something as fundamental as what a woman is underscores the dangers of the kind of progressive education that we are hearing about.
All right. So let me just, that latter part is what's important.
And a progressive education as what a woman give me a straight answer about something as fundamental as what a woman is underscores the dangers of the kind of progressive education that we are hearing about.
All right. So the point is, because this judge, this African woman, I mean, married to a white man is irrelevant, but this African woman who cannot define what a woman is, and this is just the other day as well. My thing is, we living in 2024 now. So when people say things, you can't take them at the face value as they once would have. It's better to just answer a question. I'm not saying you should run off and speculate. I'm not saying you should take somebody else's expression. I'm saying just answer the question for some clarity. So when I got phone calls telling me that I was wrong for that and I should not have done that, I'm thinking, well, I didn't even do a thing. All I did was highlight what I thought was the obvious and answer a question, because Mr. Thorne always promotes himself as a righteous, religious man. I like to think that as a religious man, he's aware, if that's the case, that, you know, that folks in his space that he has positioned, especially when it comes to education, to ensure that our children or the children in Barbados don't get caught up in all this progressive education that we're hearing about and be manipulated by individuals who have a different agenda. Because, you know, to say a woman in this day and age is good, you should be able to define woman. It should be pretty straightforward. Although for some that is not, which is also, I suppose, that they're fine. But feminism, like, that is a direct threat to the Black conscious community and the advancement of a people. And that's a fact. And because of what it represents at the root of it. And if folks are unaware of it, please feel free, go look it up. Go look up what that is, because don't think I'm on here blowing smoke. And I ain't here to defend it. I'm here to say that we might be getting, well, some of us are probably being misled, not even realizing it. So, you know, the other two statements, the gender justice and gender equality, I'm going to break those two down, though. I ain't going to even touch the woman. I ain't even going to touch the feminists. But we're going to examine the latter two, just for the sake of clarity, because there's no way Barbados going to, look, Barbados raised a lot of noise when it comes to that instrument that they did for the children. That was a big thing, although it didn't go as far as I felt it should have gone. And I don't think we should close that chapter and let it go by. I think we should still keep banging on Kay's door for answers to that situation. You know, a lot of other stuff coming up, private sign bill, and all this other stuff, and folks are openly discussing it more and more, and protest and protest and protest. The reality is that bill is on the verge of passing. Say what you like. How we got this far? Well, we can touch that in a minute as well. But before we get to that, let me just make some things abundantly clear here. I may not play the whole this thing. I might just, and I'll tell you why gender justice and gender equality is so important in this day and age, especially when it comes to the LGBTQ. Well, I'm not sure the letters correctly, so I don't want to botch it like it's a joke, but the alphabet group, whatever that is. I'm going to tell you why that is very important. Gender equality and gender justice. Not that that's an issue for them, but I'll paint the picture as to why it should be an issue for any right-thinking individual. So let me get to this here first. First thing first. We're going to look at this right here. This is where we're going to go, man. I told y'all ain't vexed yet, man. Y'all ain't vexed yet. And by the way, this isn't a, in fact, it's self-explanatory. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Let me let this play. Hang on a second.
Gender identity. Gender identity is how we feel in our minds in relation to our sex. Whereas sex is the biological and physiological part of who we are when we're born as a girl or a boy or something in between, gender identity is how we feel in relation to that, is how we feel psychologically, emotionally, and how we identify with the options that we know to exist.
All right. So gender, let's be clear, has nothing to do with your sex. It's about how you identify mentally. Just so we clear. And in case y'all missed that, let me let that play again. Because I know that's going to miss some of y'all, got to play this thing slow. Gender justice and gender equality were the two things that caused me to play that portion from our Minister of Education, according to Mr. Thorne, that he appointed.
Gender identity. Gender identity is how we feel in our minds in relation to our sex. Whereas sex is the biological and physiological part of who we are when we're born.
You see, sex is biologically who we are when we are born.
As a girl or a boy or something in between.
Now, this part right here, this in between thing, clueless, but nevertheless.
Gender identity is how we feel in relation to that, is how we feel psychologically, emotionally, and how we identify with the options that we know to exist.
All right, so sex is you're born a man, you're born a woman, quote unquote, something in between. However, if you're born a woman and you want to identify your gender as a man, well, naturally, there's some things in society that are manly and masculine that are for men. But if you're a woman that says, well, no, I'm a born woman, but I identify as a man, then you want the equality with the men. Hence, gender equality. Hold on, it gets deeper. So if you are now born a man and decide, well, I identify as a woman, although my voice is probably a bit too heavy for that, then if you identify as a woman, you're now saying, I want the equality of a woman, although I'm a man. So you understand the science, why gender equality even exists. Because it has nothing to do with the sexes, biologically speaking. Once we clear on that. So when the sister said that, I had to answer a question. Like, what you mean by that, sis? Like, I don't even know. I'm sure she was so excited in the moment of being nominated and appointed or whatever the process was. I ain't got a clue. in that position. She was pretty excited. I get it. And this is a press conference. Now you get to speak. And maybe she didn't, I'm a pro. She didn't maybe realize, maybe she didn't mean to say that. I don't know. Maybe she meant to. I don't know. I don't think Ralph saw that coming. But sorry, Mr. Thorne. Yeah, I know. I'm here, my grandmother, but have some respect, still. So all I am saying, though, is that, wait, let me answer the question. Maybe the sister, maybe she's not aware of what it means in its fullness. Maybe she's also unaware. Maybe she's being advised. I don't know. Nevertheless, I figure, let me just, because I got some calls on this, got some messages on this. Like, folks were upset with me because I said, wait, I don't understand this thing. And like, everybody mad at Emmanuel now. It's like, whoa, that's funny. But you ain't got nothing to say about that? You ain't got nothing to say about that? Yeah. Right. So check the science then. So here's the deal. So gender is how you identify mentally with the options you have available. I like how she put it, with the options you have available. For those who want to watch the rest of that video, feel free. I guess I should put the link up, right? In all fairness. I'm gonna put, because she said a whole lot more. I mean, in fact, I might play 30 more seconds. Hang on, let me let her finish her thought.
So whereas we learn about sex as something that is fixed, we're born one way, we're born another, gender is fluid. We develop a gender. Our gender can change. Our gender is not fixed.
Our gender is fluid. It is not fixed. We can choose our gender. So when his sister said that she is fully endorsing and supporting, and she's all for gender equality, what I heard is, well, if a man decides he wants to be a woman now, he should be given the equal rights. So in other words, a man now could go and compete in, for example, female boxing. So although he's born sexually a man, but he identifies as a woman, gender equality now dictates that, well, although he's trans, he should be allowed to compete in a ring with a female. Boxing. You see my issue with that? Just one example, just for the sake of clarity. I'm going to put that out there. But wait, ain't done. What you probably would never see this gender thing? Look, let me, what you will probably never, ever see. Wait, hold on. Do I have the video? I think I got the video. I going to look for the video. If I have the video, I going to play it. I just whisper in my ear, yo, play that video. I go and look for it because I didn't have it queued up for tonight. But now that I just mentioned that, it like came to mind. So I go and put on the other video real quick and look for that one real quick. Let me just switch screens real quick here, man. So that's dealing with gender and what it is by definition. 6 words I am saying on here got folks questioning whether or not I know what I'm talking about. This is crazy. I can't even believe we even in this space. But I give thanks for it because it's an education. It's a process. It's about learning. And so gender equality. Let me let this little piece, not that one. In fact, yeah, let me rock this one here for a second. This might put some stuff in perspective. This deals as, this definitely going to put it in perspective to some degree. Let me just throw this one on the screen real quick. Hang on a second, family.
The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development.
No, before I go too deep into this, I want you all to pay attention to this very serious because we talked a lot about the UN sustainable goals. We talked a lot about it in different ways. And a lot of those goals, man, seem straightforward. But there's one or two that is a bit ambiguous. And let this sister I'm gonna let this individual clarify what's going on because, pay attention, family. Just pay attention.
Promises to make human rights real for everyone.
Let me go back here. Listen to this. In fact, listen very, very carefully. There's a language that is being spoken in this time. And if you're not paying attention, if y'all not outraged as yet, you're not paying attention. I'm telling you, pay attention to this.
The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development promises to make human rights real for everyone, everywhere. It has 17 goals and gender equality cuts across all of them. At a time when we're facing conflict, extremism, and environmental degradation, the SDGs focus on sustainability, equality, peace, and progress. The SDGs challenge deepening inequalities around the world by committing to leave no one behind.
The 2030 Agenda is very clear. There can be no sustainable development without gender equality.
In reality, however, gender inequalities are pervasive in every dimension of sustainable development.
Globally, women and girls are overrepresented among the extreme poor. 330 million women and girls live on less than $1.90 a day. That's 4.4 million more than men.
In nearly 2/3 of countries, women are more likely than men to report food insecurity.
Despite recent progress, access to quality education is still not universal. Globally, 15 million girls will never get a chance to read or write, compared to 10 million boys.
Climate change has a disproportionate impact on women and children. They are 14 times as likely as men to die during a disaster.
The majority of urban women are living in conditions where they lack access to clean water, improved sanitation facilities, durable housing, or sufficient living space.
In many areas, the current rate of progress is too slow to achieve the SDGs by 2030. To turn promises into action, we need to step it up now.
We need public action to tackle inequalities and discrimination.
We need to invest in policies and programs that work for women and girls.
We need more and better data to assess whether what we are doing for women and girls actually works.
And we need greater accountability at all levels for commitments made but not met.
Let's turn these promises into action.
And gender equality into a lived reality for all women and girls.
It's up to all of us
to ensure the journey is successful.
It's up to us to make sure the journey is successful. Now, it's being promoted as an idea because women are so in trouble all over the world, suffering in such a way, education and all kind of stuff. And this is why gender equality is so important, which is so funny because no one is talking about young men in terms of equality is, so it's interesting. They want to be on the same playing field, but it's all about women focus. Okay, that's how it's being promoted. But why? Why is it being promoted that women need to have the same equal rights as men? Because in today's society, there are people who identify as women. So although there's merit, listen to me carefully, there's merit where some women are marginalized in some countries, in different regions, in different cultures for different reasons. And that is true. This agenda, pun intended, is piggybacking on this idea because it's about the equality of males who identify as women. Not so much women who identify as males, but males who identify as women. That's what that's about. And why do I say that? Because, like I said, let me play this clip right here. Let me flip it. Let me flip it. Hang on. And that's side only because we are on this particular. I'm gonna put this one up there. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Yeah. Okay, so this what's up. I'm gonna play this right here. Let me play this real quick. You might hear about men who identify as women entering female boxing and going in a ring and beating the bloody life out of a woman while people sit there and actually watch this under the guise of sport. You got to be mad. Are you mad? But you will never hear. Well, let me play first.
Mike Tyson, have you heard of him?
Yes, I have.
If he identifies as a female, should he be allowed to enter a boxing match with a biological female?
Well, the short answer is yes, somebody who is trans.
Okay.
Meanwhile.
Okay, so I'm going to play that again. The question is being asked. If Mike Tyson identify himself as a female, he's now a woman, should he be gender equality, family? Listen to me carefully. Gender equality. Should he now, this is what they want to teach the children. This is what they want to teach our children. Should Mike Tyson, who now identifies as female woman, be allowed to compete with a female in a ring? According to this guy, based on gender equality, according to those who support gender equality, the answer is yes.
Mike Tyson, have you heard of him?
Yes, I have.
If he identifies as a female, should he be allowed to enter a boxing match with a biological female?
Well, the short answer is yes, somebody who is trans.
Meanwhile,
After 20 fights, I was undefeated. Only one fighter stood between me and the belt.
we got this chick. She's nothing.
Tiffany!
Okay, I'm gonna leave it right there. Only because, like, really. So this is the kind of gender equality we're talking about. And I'm only picking this because it's an extreme and it's obvious illustration. Obvious. So this idea about gender equality that I heard some individuals speak about recently, specifically the Minister of Education under the guidance of Mr. Ralph Thorne. Well, if I had to say something again, I said it before and I can say it now. I don't have no problem with his sister saying that. I think maybe she misunderstood, but I don't know. I'm not even going to make the assumption. She's more than free to respond or come on or go on some other platform, comfortably enough, and address that question. What you mean by that, sis? Because yes, inquiring minds would like to know. Because if Ralph was advised to do so, and that is your stance, well,
Somebody advising you wrong.
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Somebody advising you wrong, man. Bottom line, y'all could talk whatever. That just says it all, man. That speaks volumes, man. Let me see what's going on here in the chat, man. Let me see what's going on. Greetings to you too, Elder. I see you. The answer to the question is what? Oh man. The answer to for the question, what is a woman, or define a woman, the answer is a woman is your mother. Well, Tyrone said, yep, that is it. You know what the funny thing is, King Alfred and Tyrone? The very next day, I think it was the next day when she was in one of the other Senate hearings, maybe I could play that same woman. Let me tell you the games they play. This is the games they playing. You're going to sit there as a judge and you're going to play this game. But the very next day when the senator made a response, she jumped in. Well, my mother is here. She's a woman. And she the person I admire the most is here, and she's a woman. So all of a sudden now she want to start calling. But this the game they play. They switch back and forth between the two. But check this out, man. Them rainbow clowns cannot produce any children. Please stop promoting them fools. Nah, Noel. Well, I don't know. Well, again, you can't call them rainbow clowns. In all fairness, I mean, I think that there's a like the lady said, you're born sexual, but then you can choose based on mentally. So it may be a mental situation where they see themselves as that. I mean, it might be a mental situation because biologically speaking, that's not what it is. That's obvious. But if it's a mental situation, then it's a situation in the mind. So we got to look at it from that standpoint with a bit of empathy as well. We can't just be so harsh and heavy hammer in a sense. And that's definitely not my position. Noel, try and behave yourself, man. For real. He said, Emmanuel, you choking me here. Stop playing, man. Stop playing, man. He said, then white people did too much damage to the black race. Stop turning to them for anything. We got to stop blaming white people, man. I don't think, we blame white folks, but that's not half the story has never been told. Don't forget. Greetings, family. Greetings. Half the story has never been told. Remember that. That is why our tax money for gender assignment surgery to make the gender more fluid. Stop it, man. Stop it. Taxpayers' money right now is a question on everybody's mind. I would like to hear what Mr. Thorne's view is on the taxes right now. What's his plan for taxes regarding the Barbados? I mean, if Mr. Thorne is to win right now, he gonna have to take at least 5 years to undo, quote unquote, the damage, which is all ministers say the same thing, that Miss Motley would have done if they all say the same thing, because they all blame the last one for the damage that they came and found, and they need time to fix it. So, taxes may go stay a little bit longer, because we reconciling the books. There's a lot of debt. We got to pay these bills, and Chinese ain't trying to hear that 2% interest. Yo. Bill Gates and the Rainbow. Man. Yo, behave, man. Don't be doing that, because they people as well. Don't be insulting anybody on this platform. We're not doing that. We definitely not doing that. And they say you on here with some agenda, man. They say all respect to women, but they playing the feminist card. Yeah, that was a white woman thing. That's not our thing, man. From the time you hear someone talking about gender equality and fluidity, there's a need to be concerned, because we will see ourselves facing an onslaught of the divine balance that is going to swing the pendulum all the way to the opposite side. The opposite side. I don't want to even. I was going to run a joke on that. I ain't going to do it. She said fluidity. I don't know, boy. She says, it can go. You can choose based on the options you have. I thought I was crazy. Yeah. Meanwhile, Mike Tyson in the ring with somebody. Gender equality. This is gender equality, family. That's what this is. This is gender equality. That's what this is.
If he identifies as a female, should he be allowed to enter a boxing match with a biological female?
Well, the short answer is yes, somebody who is trans.
Okay. Meanwhile,
After 20 fights, I was undefeated. Only one fighter stood between me and the belt.
you got this chick. She's nothing.
Tiffany!
He needs some milk.
Listen, you will never hear about a female who identifies as a man entering male boxing. You're not going to hear that. So all that gender equality, that ain't really.
Somebody advising you wrong.
You ain't going to hear that. No female talk about she want to enter a heavyweight champion bout. Are you mad? You ain't going to hear that, family. Even if she from Russia somewhere, you ain't hearing that. Nah. That'll be the day. That'll be the day, family. So I know that there's issues with this whole gender thing. But that wasn't even all. I mean, if that was it, I would say, well, okay, that was it. But that wasn't even it. There was even more to that. Like, wait a minute, man. Like, for real, there's some things wrong with this whole gender equality thing, though, on a serious note. And although it may sound like a good thing, it's a bad thing per se. As far as the gender justice, understand this, family, the relationship is the same. There are people who want to be able to capitalize on the fact that there's certain benefits for one in society versus the other. That's what it boils down to. So that's my knowledge. So unless I am wrong, which I could be wrong, feel free to correct us. The number's on the screen. And so I just want the sister to make it clear what she meant. No, Noel, we're not asking Mr. Thorne if he is a male feminist. He didn't drop the DLP woman outside, without respect. I like I said, he spoke about it. He made it very clear what his reasons were. And he said he was done with that. And that was it. Greetings, family. Greetings to you too. You and the whole family. By the way, shout out to the whole Clark family. The Clarks is no joke. I met the Clarks today. Look, the universe is not without a sense of humor. Serious, Jeremiah. Serious. The universe is not without. Shout out to the whole Clark family, man. So if the sexes are so equal, why don't women who identify as men go compete in men's sports? You see, same they're talking about. We need to stop the madness. I totally agree with you 100%. 100%. Fully. It don't make sense. And And we're not buying into it because why would we want to do that? Like, we ain't got no problem with anybody who identify as whatever, but to talk about you promoting equality, what do we teach? Is this what you're going to be teaching the children in school? That's just my question. Shout out to St. Corfu University, by the way, while we're on the topic. And the thing with spiritual order, right, is that we tend to have what we in our mind envision what it should be, when it should be. But I know for a fact, man, that everything is divine timing, and we must also fall in line with that and be ready when, to use a phrase loosely, when the bridegroom come. We must be ready. That's all it is. Just be ready. We don't know when. Just be ready. You may gotta hit the ground running, man. That's just how it go. Like the good old days. Man, Noel. Look, man, Noel, try and behave yourself. Bullets had to stay in the closet. Look, man, my thing is this. We live in a world where now, we recognize that a lot of us have our own psychological issues on different levels. And by the way, this is not me promoting anything. This is me saying that we always got to be mindful of how we treat each other. That's why I said to Mr. Thorne, well, to others, not Mr. Thorne directly, on Sunday, all right, so the folks outside came a day before and had a bit of, things got out of hand. I suspect there are folks who are being paid to promote the out of handness. That might be on both sides of the fence because agent provocateurs do exist and people do get paid to do a lot of stuff. That's a fact. That's just how it go. Everybody working for the same dollar bill. Some people say that Rihanna sell out, this body sell out, that body sell out. But if you check it out, everybody working for the same dollar bill. People at Shafet don't work for Halu. People at courts don't work for courts. People at Brighton Stokes, Massey Distribution, don't work for Brighton Stokes. They work for that dollar. The same dollar, whether big or small, whether they hustle or otherwise, they working for the same dollar. And that's a fact, man. The question is how much you negotiate. I suppose it's the only difference. That's the bottom line. Some folks do it for the love, not even studying the dollar, which is another conversation. But that's where we at today, family. So we know we can't just be insulting people and calling out names. Like, definitely not cool. Definitely not cool. But having said that, though, he said, this is crazy. Remind me of South Park. He said, Manuel, that does not make sense. If I mentally identify as a millionaire, can I go to Carter's or buy a diamond tennis Cartier and buy a diamond tennis bracelet? Or turning a blind eye is perpetuating this agenda folly. I don't think it's a matter of turning a blind eye. I think we at this point, and that's a very valuable point, by the way, McGlory. I think what it is that society is such a point where now we've literally recognized that we've been living in an asylum. It's been an asylum. We just now realizing it's an asylum, because although we say that, as a mental issue that you said, if I mentally identify as, in reality, there's a lot of things that go on in society that we could choose to pick on right now outside of the gender agenda that people go for, that indicate that people themselves also got mental issues. For example, national insurance. People are still buying into that scheme. Like, I mean, really? As simple as it sounds. Taxes. Think about it. Think about it. I don't even have a dollar bill. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me just do a little illustration. Real quick. So let me get this here straight. Let me see if I get this straight. So you work for $20. Of course, nobody's working for $20. But let's assume that this $20 bill is okay, we work for $20. We're not going to make any assumptions. We're not going to play pretend. So after I work for the $20 and somebody comes, my employer, and say, well, listen, this is your salary. I pay you with this $20. After I get this $20, well, before I get this $20, I'm taxed. It's called an income tax. I'm taxed on the money I work for. So they take from me and they give me what's left. So they take out my $8 for income tax and give me what's left. So I work for $20, but income tax leave me with $12. So when I get my salary in my hand now, my $12, and I decide then, well, I got to go to the supermarket and I buy groceries. So I buy some food for my house. When I buy the groceries, I'm taxed again. Okay, I'm taxed again. So now I'm taxed again, and I'm left with less money. So I spend money in groceries, but I'm taxed again out the money that I was already taxed for in the first place. Then I go pay my light bill. We ain't gonna even talk about light and power. Because you mentioned light and power, you got to think of Tricia Watson if you mention light and power. Nevertheless, we're gonna get to that in a minute too. So I'm taxed again. Light and power tax me. Floor tax. What else tax you got? What other tax you got? Well, gasoline. We ain't gonna even talk with gasoline. Tax again. So wait a minute. How is it possible that you are consistently taxed on the money that was already taxed as it comes along? Here's the best part, though. Here's the best part. If I take that money that was just taxed and give it to somebody else part of payment, they too got to pay a tax on what they received on what was already taxed. It don't make sense, family. We got to be sick in our head to promote that kind of lifestyle and make these politicians think they could keep doing it. They put a tax on a vehicle. They call it a luxury tax. Wait a minute. Hold on. So wait a minute. Because I bought a vehicle that is more comfortable perhaps than the other vehicle or more durable in terms of safety than the other ones, I'm charged a luxury tax on it. So I'm charged more on it. Look, man, anyhow, taxes, that's another area, man. So yeah, it's a mental issue. We definitely got an issue with it, man. I remember that woman's boxing match where a woman was being battered by a trans woman, a former Marine. She suffered a fractured skull. Yeah, I remember that one too. I played it. We played it on Politically Incorrect. Yes, we did. And I don't even have it now. I could pull that up in a second. Gender equality isn't what we think it is, man. So when the sister said it, like I said, it's a mental illness. It would got to be a mental illness because I said, sis, Mr. John, I don't know. We be spoken in the past. I don't really know you. I know of you. We interact, we speak, but I don't know what you really mean by that. I'm not sure if you mean what I think you mean by that. So just for the sake of the people in Barbados, you might want to clear that up or clean that up or whatever it is, man. Ralph, you might want to look into that. Sorry, calling guy by his first name. You mean that guy, Mr. Thorne, respectfully. You might want to look into that too. I'm just saying, man. The math ain't mathing. This is the plan to depopulate the world, the whole world. First, you depopulate and the control with the digital IDs and digital currency. Then there's the 15-minute cities. It's all about control. Depopulate, well, again, correct the mundo, man. They say that Mr. Thorne is a distraction to what the BLP is doing to the Barbadian culture. Yep, it makes no sense. Timing. That's right. Not Noel laughing. All falls into time. All falls into place at the appointed time. The trust, divine timing. All will indeed fall into place. I tell people that when I say fall into place, maybe say that, yes, and I understand what is meant by that. I tell people we are walking into our destiny. You're walking towards that. Every day you move forward, spiraling towards what is already written. It's fulfilled already. we're just fulfilling it in this realm. I tell folks like buying a DVD, you know, the movie is right there in front of you. You just at the place you are within the viewing process, the experience called life, but it's already there, man. He said we have to retake back our world. God created a world with ecological rightness, ecological rightness. Who are we allowing what God has created for man and woman? Well, I'll say this, Noel. You know, it's not strange, but I personally feel the experience is for us to have the experience to choose right when we are faced with wrong choices. And I think I said that correctly. You know, that's what Spirit said. You know, we're given these choices, but it's about us having the experience, you know, to choose right in the face of wrong, especially when the majority seem to be going in the wrong direction. And it's a right thinking process, you know? And so that's why I said we ain't gonna get on here and insult folks and call names. We ain't do that. That's not what we're here to do, man. Dinner is on me, man. Let me start screening screening. I look. I'm done. How do you feel about pension being taxed? This is wrong. Being taxed twice. This is my point. That's the whole point. I mean, the fact that they could even come and tell you that they're going to tax your pension that they already taxed is like, that's how you know the politicians, a lot of them are mentally ill as well. They got to be mentally ill. I don't know if that's a prerequisite for being a politician. You may have to look into that though, but that is crazy, man. That is why they separate church from state so they can push the alphabet stuff, man. The mafia when it comes to these taxes. Taxes are a scam. Taxes are a scam that some of us have bought into without thinking. It's time to wake up. Facts, man. Absolute facts. Absolute facts, man. Time to wake up, family. And the IMS had to be paid back, or that same $20 will be like the Jamaican, Trinidad, or Guyanese and the value monies. Listen, Trinidad, Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad, and Guyana, they all got oil. I don't see how they got money to be devalued. Think about it. Something ain't right, family. It don't make sense. But to say LSD can turn people gay. Be careful. Learn that today. Okay. What does that mean? It is that she does not care for men too much. Well, I don't know if the sister don't care for men too much, but in fact, now that you said that, let me just drop this clip real quick. Short clip, not a short clip.
There's a serious problem with gender rights at the moment, and I believe it's widening the divide between men and women rather than narrowing it. When it comes to gender rights and gender equality in our society, we are still awkward teenagers. We haven't got it all figured out yet, but we still like to pretend that we have all the answers. I think you'd have to be living in a state of denial if you don't believe that both men and women suffer gender-based injustices all around the world. Fortunately, almost everyone I speak to wants fairness for both genders. So why does it seem to be so hard to have an adult conversation about it without resorting to bickering and name-calling? Why is it so hard to get most people to listen to very valid calls to action for many women's rights issues? Why is it so hard to get most women to listen to very valid calls to action for many men's rights issues? Why can't both sides just sit in a room together and find a mutually beneficial solution like adults? I believe the reason all boils down to our media's obsession with extremism. Let me explain. If you consider all the men and all the women in the Western world, you'd be hard-pressed to find people who don't want equality for men and women. Sure, we all have varying opinions of how to get that equality, or even what equality actually means, But at our cores, most of us just want things to be fair.
That's it.
However, at the far end of the spectrum, you get a small percentage of extremists, emotionally unbalanced individuals who have an axe to grind and demand to be heard. They band together, and mob mentality quickly sweeps in, which further erodes logic and increases aggressiveness. Extremist mobs all behave in a similar way, whether their cause is political, racial, or gender-based. You get both verbally and physically aggressive behavior. You get attempts to dominate and silence those who disagree with you, and you get attempts at character assassination. Essentially, they become irrational bullies. So extreme feminists may make the catch cry that all men are rapists, while men's rights activists make the claim that women who dress provocatively deserve to be raped. Even though these opinions are far removed from the views of the majority of feminists or men's rights activists, the media loves extremism, and so this tiny faction gets 90% of media attention and 90% of social media shares.
Crazy.
This means that the rest of us fall victim to a serious case of what you see is all there is. As a man who isn't actively involved in any feminist groups, my personal experience is that almost all the feminists I see online seem to think that all men are rapists and most of us should be locked up for breathing. While the average feminist has the experience that almost all men's rights activists she sees believe that women deserve to be raped. It's my experience that the average feminist and the average men's rights advocate could get along quite well. They both want many of the same outcomes. They both have genuine sympathy for the needs of both genders. Sure, they won't agree on everything, but most feminists I know personally respect my opinions about men's rights, as I respect their opinions about women's rights. As a result, productive adult discussions flow easily, with both parties walking away with a more open mind than before.
Well, that's my 2 cents on that right there. Again, right? Nothing wrong with having a conversation. There ain't nothing wrong with having a conversation. In fact, I think conversation is healthy because all of us not living under the same ideas that other people have. I see the elder drop some science, say all people who are the product of nature must base their physiological liberty on the 7 basic principles of Ma'at. If you don't know the principle, in fact, folks who may not be familiar with that, let me just put it this way. Type that in your phone, write it down, the 7 basic principles of Ma'at. Write that down really quick. Write it down, go Google it. So that's basically it. The philosophical liberty on the 7 basic principles of that, which is the whole idea behind who we are as a people. Sex is determined genetically and revealed at birth. How one feels about themselves and identify as whatever later in life is their choice, but does not genetically change their real, I like how you put it, their real gender. See, they split between, they split sex and gender, so now is separate. Gender is no longer tied, in other words, no longer tied to sex, is separate, has been separated. We have to leave them with their narrative and create our own narrative, not into any gender equality narrative. And this is basically what I'm saying. I don't know if the sister really saw it that way or not, but maybe she didn't, maybe she did. I don't know, but I just was answering questions. I didn't mean the boy to jump out there and get upset with me. But it's all a test. I like that. Said that was deep. Choose right when faced with wrong choices. It's a fact, man. It's really all a test of where you're going to stand. And to think that that's not the case, well, he said, wait, what? I was a complicated female? Man, I'm not even getting between you and Noel. Y'all are just perhaps your first marriage and Fade, probably. Shout out to Fade, by the way. Shout out to the whole Fade community. Barbados National Congress. Y'all already know what time it is, man. And what time is it here? Oh, wait, 18 past? All right, we up out of here. Okay. I think this is the message. I had a wonderful day today doing nothing at work when life is great. Enjoyed it. I can't, man. I can't. Trying to say income tax is a levy to pay for wars, but somehow it's permanent. But guess what? It's a matter of when people are going to realize this and decide to do something different. Because at this point, we can't just sit back and leave it, man. We got to make a difference somehow, somewhere along the line, family. So I can go on and on. I can go on and on, but we're not gonna do that. What we're gonna do here, family, we're gonna just let that sit. I know some folks, like I said, may not be too happy, but Ron is saying it is not always possible to leave them with their narrative. Reality is the average man or woman doesn't care one way or another what they identify as. Facts. They keep wanting to flaunt it in our faces, and want us to support and validate them in their delusion. Well, again, it's a mind thing. So, that's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, Pedro is saying, greetings, family. Greetings. Gender is a social construct, and there are over 100 genders. Really? No. Come on, Pedro. You're going too far with this. That's true. Money experiment. Nah, that's 100. Nah, man. John Money. Nah, man. Okay, will do, Noel. I will do. You got enough courage to say that online. I think it's the right thing to do then. I think it's the right thing to do then. I think so. You're making people laugh, man. I can sort it out for you. Oh man. Anyhow, income tax is criminal. Facts. All right. So we gonna pull up out of here now, man. This done turn into a whole dating program. So I'm about to here. On that note, we definitely out. We not gonna. No, I ain't gonna hook you up, man. I can plug you in. Don't worry about it. So family, that's it. That's all, folks, man. That's it. We got to realize that in Barbados, you can't seem to be too, open to ask questions nowadays. People getting this thing going to another level. People getting antsy to some degree. So all I'm gonna say is this, man. The greatest of all times. I got a tune here. I got a tune lineup. I just was sent a tune earlier for sure. Tell you when I see you got a lot of music skill though. I see you got some music skills, but I can tell you something, man. I got to drop this piece right here in the cut. Put that in the cut. My thing is this, family. We see what's going on around us. Right now, the focus is about building yourself, building your family, building your community, building your nation. If any conversation y'all having, I don't care if you're having it with Mia Montley, if you're having it with Alex Mitchell. Shout out to Alex Mitchell, by the way, and Bajan Free Party. Or you're having it with what's the brother name? Philip Springer and the Sovereignty Unity Party. So if you're having it, those conversations, well, or you're having it with the BLP1 or BLP2 or whatever BLP it is, or whatever's going on. If you're having it, make sure you answer questions that are pertinent. Don't be fed promises, because Aunt Rose said them is comforts to fools, man. And ministers love to promise stuff. So make sure you inquire, because a lot of folks too subscribe to this election process. A lot of folks still subscribe to it. So all I'm saying, family, is, be mindful. Be mindful. Just be mindful. Because much as we can go and quote unquote pick. Yeah, we can pick. If this ain't worth picking, but pick at it. If there's a reason to answer a question, go answer. By all means, answer question. Answer question. But if answering questions get you ridiculed, just pray for wisdom, guidance, and strength to push forward, man. Come to the fork in the road and go straight. Here, family, Maria hit the note on the head, man. Control the things you can. Leave the things you can't. Have wisdom to understand the difference. Or in my case, understand it differently. Straight. Have a good night. Yes, just relax and be safe. Be wise. I like the word wise instead because I know some folks who have cracked a few safes in their time. Safes don't be always that safe, yeah. So be wise, Noel. Especially you, Noel. Be wise, man. Give thanks, man. Peace, family. That's right. It's all about respect. Without respect, nothing goes. Facts, man. My focus is about solutions and making a difference. Yes, that's right. Show it to Fed again, Maria. The whole family, man. The latest news is the PM was to move the Defense Force from its long-term home to the development. Long-term home for the development. Well, it only makes sense. All that beachfront property there for like, I mean, it ain't like the Defense Force attached to the Coast Guard. Just saying, it located next to the Hilton, behind the Light and Power, and away from the other hotels. It just don't fit there no more. It used to fit there back in the days, but it didn't serve any purpose like it used to. So, might as well repurpose the whole thing, quite frankly. But maybe that's another conversation. We actually don't need a defense force, family. We really don't. That was established to keep the plantocracy safe. So if we don't have a plantocracy no more, we wouldn't need it no more because, I mean, think about it. When Barbados was a colony, the role of the defense force was to protect the colony. But we ain't a colony anymore, according to the Republic or whatever else they call it. So if that's the case, well, we don't need them. I'm just saying. That budget could be reallocated towards the children and education, even health, housing, just to name a few. So having said that, family, having said that, I'm just going to say this, man. It's time we know ourselves. Focus on knowing yourself. Bridgetown just laughing at the fact that the fire station was moved. Another fire in town today. In fact, y'all heard what the fire they had in town today. Of course, y'all heard about that. I mean, who hasn't at this point, man? It was rough. Yeah, things changing, family. Let's pay attention, family. Having said that, y'all have a great evening. Peaceful, wonderful Wednesday. Stay focused. Stay focused. For sure, for sure, for sure. Let me drop this science right here real quick. Hang on, wait. Gotta play this tune right here. So.
Don't let the obstacles of life get you down.
I got no tune for you, Beverly. I just for your box, man.
Don't let the things they say and do
weaken your heart and conquer you.
Just make your life forever true.
And I know Jah will see you through.
They all want to see you fall and stumble along the way. Yeah.
Along the way, right?
Great, keep the faith. He'll guide you day by day.
Get on up, stand up, fight back.
Right back, family. Right back, family.
Get on up, stand up, fight back.
Stand up and be counted, man.
Yeah. Get on up, stand up, fight back.
Get up off your knees, family.
Get on up, stand
Get up off your knees, Almighty Pastor.
Don't be a fool this time.
They pull out tune for the talk, man. Almighty Pastor. You can walk and pray, family. You can walk and pray, family. Don't get me wrong, family. Effective prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Yeah?
Don't let the things they say and do.
Get off your knees, family. Get up and do something.
Just make your life forever true.
And I know Jah will see you through.
They all want to see you fall and stumble along the way.
They want to see you stumble, right?
Jah is great. Keep the faith. He'll guide.
Rastafari.
Hey, get on up, stand up, fight back.
Right.
Don't give in, no. Get on up, stand up, fight back.
of the wicked and heartless.
Remember the power to rise
To keep over me, so you'll see
that you'll never be defeated.
user, abuser, treated like a fool.
Well protected, spread it around.
Don't back down.
Take it to the well. Get on up, stand up, fight back. Don't give in, no. Get on up, stand up, fight back. Fight to win, yeah. Get on up, stand up, fight back. Don't give in, no. Get on up, stand up, and don't
right.
be a fool.
Don't be a fool this time, family. 1966 to now. Don't be a fool this time, family. Rise, rise, my people, rise. Go to Barbados National Congress. Thanks for that call today, man. Thanks for that call today, man. Go to Atlanta, Georgia, man.
And I know Jah will see you through.
The whole community in Atlanta, Georgia, man. You got the message, man. You got the message, man.
Jah is great. Keep the faith. He'll guide you day by day.
Barbados National Congress, family. Go to Tricia Watson, too. Tricia Watson. Man. No, I understand this thing at all, though.
Get on up, stand up, fight back. Don't give in, no. Get on up, stand up, and don't be a
fool this time. Karaoke time. You're daffodil, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You know, I can't go end up playing one more tune, though. Yeah, one more tune, though. I gotta do one more. Sprite, let me put that one on, man. Yes. I gotta put that one on, man. I shouldn't even put that one on, man. Gee, damn red. I gotta put that one on, man. You can't play. Daffodil, what do you think, Daffodil? What do you do, Daffodil? Gee, damn red. No, Daffodil, they're telling me, play the tune, man. Well, yes, yeah. Wait, why don't tell you? Yes, well, Daffodil, I hear you, my head loud and clear. Let me see you type this. Look, you cannot make this up. Cannot. What, dude? Look, I love it, right, family? A lot of folks, man, look, who feels it knows here. I can't speak otherwise because I feel it, so I can't speak for those who don't. But I suppose it was a time when I didn't realize it. I was always feeling, but I didn't realize it. My eyes wasn't open wide enough. My eyes was always open, though. I always was seeing this thing different, man. I mean, I remember way back. You ever speak to my mom, she'd tell you this child was different, man. The things he was doing, destined to be different, man. Serious. But here we're getting on, family. Let me just let the energy flow. Let the energy flow. So this we're getting on, right? We can just mellow out here, man. We can let it go. We can let it go. Want another one of these garnets, man. Why not another garnet, man? Life, garnet, silk, man. We drop another garnet, man. It's only right. Okay, which garnet, silk, daffodil? Which one, man? It's like so much, man. I know that. I should have known that was going to come, man. All right, I see it. I got it. I got your message. I'm going to shout you for it in a minute. Give me a minute. I'm still doing a live. Daffodil said, play. I love music. Yeah, Daffodil, but I didn't want to stick up too long. I can get something for the people. In fact, yes. There you go, Daffodil. There you go. Yes, Lord watch for sure. Big tune, Daffodil. I wonder if I should play the youth version though. I wonder if I should do this with Daffodil. Daffodil doing something a little different here, Daffodil. A little different, Daffodil, only because, can I do this? I should be able to do this because after all, yeah, I should be able to do this. I should be able to do this, Daffodil. Daffodil doing something different. Bear with me.
we're singing. Lord, watch over shoulders tonight and help us leave the words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from. Father, show us the way to go. Said I must love and feed my enemies, and I'm gonna do it. Said I shouldn't hate or grudge, and I won't, not even for a minute. Let only truth come from our lips. Bless our souls, cause without you we can't make it. Lord, watch over shoulders tonight. Help us leave the words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from. Father, show us the way to go. You're the wind beneath my wings. See me through all little things. You lifted me when I was down. Now you have me standing on higher ground. Lord, watch over shoulders tonight. Help us leave the words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from. Father, show us the way to go. How excellent is thy name. Deliver us from sin and shame. Out of the mouth of babe and suckling, you are our danger.
To the mouth of babe and suckling.
I'm depending on you.
Up to the mouth of babes.
I'm depending on you. You're the only way. Guide me day by day. With you I wanna stay. Please don't go away, alright. Don't watch over shoulders tonight. Help us save the words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from. Father, show us the way to go. Said I must love and feed my enemies, and I'm gonna do it.
Feed the enemies, man. I want to do it though.
Hit our grudge, and I won't, not even.
We won't hit our brother. Not for a minute, man.
Truth come from our lips. Bless our souls, Lord, without
The troops come from our lips, family.
Lord, watch over shoulders tonight.
They can spread the propaganda.
Words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from. Father, show us the way to go.
Although it would be the truth, though.
Wind beneath my wings, see me through all little things. You lifted me when I was down. Now you have me standing on the high ground. Don't watch over shoulders tonight. Help us sing the words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from. Father, show us the way to go. I'm depending on you.
Have a good night, family.
I'm depending on you. No other help I know.
I did not the first emperor. Going to the big bottom.
Lord, watch over shoulders. Help us leave the words. Oh,
Yeah, have a good night. To the family, y'all every
help us save the words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from. Father, show us the way to go.
Gee, down, Brad. Just so, man. Show us the way to go. That tune there is a big tune, man. But anyhow, family, I had to let that one ride, man. In the meantime, we're going to be out on this one right here, man. That'll be good.
Here I come again, Jaja. Before your presence we singing. Yeah. Lord, watch over our shoulders tonight and help us live our words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from. Father, show us the way to go. You said I must love and feed my enemies, and I'm gonna do it. You said I shouldn't hate or grudge, and I won't, not even for a minute. Let only truth come from my lips. Bless our souls, so without you we can make it. Lord, watch over our shoulders tonight and help us leave our